Hi everybody, welcome back from your break and welcome to Chapter 9 where we're discussing adolescent development and moving into this kind of next phase of developmental process in your textbook. I wanted to take a moment not only just to welcome you back but point out a couple things in this chapter, and hopefully the video for this week on the TED Talk will help engage you in thinking about the content for this week on brain development of adolescents. Quite exciting. There's interesting research that's coming out about brain development and how they make decisions, whatnot. What I'd like to talk to you about actually has to do with something that was was mentioned in passing in your text. And in particular, I'm going to be referring to the text over here, so I'm going to turn away from the camera for a second. But on page 310, it starts a section called Issues in the Study of Racial or Ethnic and Homosexual Identity Development. And it's that racial and ethnic and homosexuality development piece that I want to focus on. There's a concept, again, briefly mentioned on page 314, having to do with racial development on the top of 314 on the left-hand side, and I'll just read it for you. It says, for gay, lesbian, and bisexual adolescents, two central identity development processes, sexual questioning and disclosure to others, have been identified by Savin Williams and Diamond in 1999. These bear some resemblance to exploration and commitment. Individuals' paths through the process of self-questioning and self-labeling, however, are extremely diverse, related to their gender, complicated by minority group membership, influenced by family acceptance or rejection, and without any one necessary correct endpoint. It's the piece that says complicated by minority group membership that I want to point out. This is actually a reference to something called intersectionality, where being part of different groups intersects. It comes together to form unique experiences in the world that can complicate issues of identity and thus also development. And I just wanted to give you that official name for what they're talking about there. Again, it's intersectionality. I'm going to post two things that you can refer to if you're interested in this. But you know, anybody who can hold various minority statuses at the same time would fall into this category. For example, somebody who's disabled and homosexual, or somebody who is Native American and of a lower class. Technically, there are different things that are going on there. It's not just that they belong to one particular category, but two different categories, or three or four or five, that are all intersecting to create a unique situation. So intersectionality has been discussed as, it was a term coined by the scholar Crenshaw, who's a legal scholar, and he underscores the multidimensionality of marginalized subjects' lived experiences. Intersectionality emerged in the late 1980s and early 1990s from critical race studies, a scholarly movement born in the legal academy committed to problematizing laws' purported colorblindness, neutrality, and objectivity. From its inception, intersectionality has had a long-standing interest in one particular intersection, the intersection of race and gender. To that end, intersectionality rejects the single-axis framework often embraced by both feminist and anti-racist scholars, instead analyzing the various ways in which race and gender interact to shape the multiple dimensions of black women's experiences. And then the article continues on to talk about other aspects of intersectionality. The second one, the article that it's going to be a PDF form that I'm going to refer to, also describes a different aspect of intersectionality. Although there are some variations in the conceptualization of intersectionality, in particular disciplinary contexts, the essential idea underlying the concept is that social distinctions are related and simultaneously impact individuals' lives. And this is formulated within a social constructivist framework. So have a look. It's kind of an important area that is glossed over, and you probably wouldn't get it until you're in a multicultural or cultural psychology class. And the second article, the PDF, actually is looking at different cases within a mental health orientation. So take a look at that. So that was the first thing I wanted to mention. Another thing is on a lighter note, on page 301, they're talking about advances in metacognitive skills and thinking about thought within adolescence. And in particular, I want to focus your attention on the fourth paragraph that starts another feature of the adolescent's self-focus as distorted view of his or own importance. And they talk about personal fable and invincibility fable. And I want you to read that again and think about popular media, books and movies that have come out. In particular, you'll note that the storylines for a lot of the really popular media that's become really big lately actually have to do with this developmental process right here. The Divergence books, book series, the Harry Potter book series, Hunger Games, a lot of these really focus on that the maturation process that goes through this and uses this kind of starting point of the personal fable and how people think they're important and moving into higher developmental process and realizations. So anyway, have a look at that, and it'd be fun to hear what other book series or movies you think fall into that. That's also a primer to remind you that you'll be working on your own case studies and the paper for this class. So you can use this piece when you're thinking about that as well. All right, well, have a good rest of the week, and I'll see you online. Bye.